Hi guys, it's Ricky from Mossville Times. I'm delighted to be welcomed by the band The Self-Titled. To be honest with you, it was just going to be an interview with Paul, but the rest of the band got so nosy that they've all decided to join. So I'm delighted to be welcomed by Paul on drums, Tom the vocalist, the guitarist Philip, and bassist Steve. So first of all, welcome to you. Nice to meet you all. So how have you been coping with the lockdown, etc.? Have you still been working?
Yeah, been working hard with the band. I'll just correct you there. The bass player's Charles, not Steve. Although Steve would be happy when he watches this back. You like that, but no, we
I do apologise, Charles, but can I just say
that's all right.
Can I just say update your Facebook page then? I just thought.
That's down to Tom. That is.
He's up there, down there somewhere.
No, my bad.
I thought your name was Steve.
That's right. I'll take that as a compliment.
We call him Steve anyway. But anyway, to answer your question, yeah, we've been busy still working. Band-wise, we've been working very hard. You know, it's obviously been difficult.
Yeah.
And you know, like all the other bands around, it's quite incredible how it just went from you know, up here to absolutely bottom. So it's been difficult for everybody to try and get going again, or keep it going. You know, keep the enthusiasm there. See what we can do to keep our music out there with people, trying to keep connected with people. So yeah, we've kept going, but yeah, slowly, much too slow. So Tom keeps telling us anyway, we get an email every week saying it's too slow, speed up.
So are the rest of the band, are you guys still working and everything, or in your personal life?
Yeah, I worked from home. But I've been back in the office for the last, but it was like 4 months from turning my guitar room into an office.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks very much, guys. So, so with the lockdown, then, have you been using this time constructively to write more songs?
Yes, we have. We've written another 4. We're trying to write an album, but it is very slow going. It's difficult because we've got a system. So Phil gets inspired by by having a bit to drink and records some guitar riffs to a click track.
Okay.
Then he sends it to me. I start listening to it. I listen to it a good few, I don't know, maybe 100 times, hum along to it, and then rearrange it, send it off to Paul. Paul plays his electric drum kit over it and plays with that until he settles on something that he likes. Then he sends that on to Charles, who plays bass.
Yeah.
Then they send it back to me. I redo the vocals. Then we redo some guitar bits and some backing vocals. And then we send it to Charlie and wait for him to mix it.
So it sounds like you've got like 4 songs ready. Do you think you might do like a single or an EP, or are you just going to go for the big one and do an album then?
I think we're going to do an album. I think that's what's next. It just feels natural to do an album.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've got we will have a single coming out fairly soon.
Yeah. In
fairness, so called Dead Space, and we're going to record that next month. I think it's next month, isn't it? August.
Yeah, is it 22nd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to do with a computer game?
Taster.
Anything to do with a computer game?
Yeah, that was an inspiration, definitely. But it's more about people wasting your time and getting frustrated about it. And are you on the red wine? I'm going to work in a minute. I can't watch you guys drink that. Right, yeah. So, yeah, it's about people wasting your time and the frustrations behind that. And, you know, just, Dead Space has got a few meanings. So it kind of works in all directions.
Yeah. So
it's quite a heavy track. Yeah.
Yeah. So being up here in Scotland, then with the lockdown, with you guys being in England, we're pretty much a few weeks behind you guys. So is there a chance for the band to meet up and practice then? Is there any dates or anything like that to meet up?
Yeah, we had Tom's the other day.
How did that go?
Got access to a barn next to his house. He's in there at the moment, I feel. And Tom kindly chevron taped off the floor, giving us each at least 2 meter zones to do our thing. Tom,
I can show you that if you like.
Sung into his pop.
Would you like to see that?
Spreading his aerosols, and it was a very safe semi-post lockdown first rehearsal. There you go.
Would you have been zapped if you crossed that line?
Yeah,
that keeps us safe. Them lines, that keeps us safe.
That's it.
Yeah, we use anyone steps over the line, and you just get them with a cow prod.
So Charles, like, how long was that? Was that the first time in like a good few months that you've been together? Did you actually remember who your bandmates were?
Yeah, we'd kept in contact. We'd had the odd video chat, and I think the kind of the online collaboration was good for us all just to kind of keep in touch.
Yeah.
But it was surprising really because like the song we'll probably talk about a little bit later on, Transfuse. We played it a couple of times before lockdown, but then we obviously did a lot of work on it during lockdown.
Yeah.
And then when we sort of came back and played it together, it came back really tight. And there was another song that we've been working on as well, which we'd never played live, and it just spawned out of that process
In Your Fire.
that Tom mentioned, In Your Fire. And we just played it through first time, like we've been playing it for months. It was quite incredible, really.
Yeah.
It's much better live, isn't it?
Yeah, much better.
It's a little bit sterile, like playing it all separately. It kind of got a sort of synthetic feel to the songs, but playing live, they're just much better.
Yeah. That's excellent. Thank you very much for that. So last June you released your latest EP, Bears and Bulls. So how did it feel to get the EP out there for all the masses to hear then?
We couldn't wait, could we? We the band's been together so many years now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're lazy. We're more of a live act, really. We've got one album and 2 EPs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at the moment out in circulation. So to get Bears and Balls out with a new lineup at the time, so we got Tom on vocals a few years back, and then got Phil in the mix, and Phil said, "I've got all these songs that no other bands want to play that I've been in. What about you boys? They're not quite as heavy. I don't think you're going to like them." So we said, "No, let's listen to them. Let's listen to them." We've done a few demos to these tracks.
Yeah. And
we said, "Yeah, we use them. They're absolutely slightly different feel for the band, for the songs. They're, and with Tom's vocals on top. And we said, well, let's just record them. We like playing them. I think they're still heavy enough to stay in our little bubble. But we've always been a sort of band you can't really sort of generalise us in any sort of genre too much. I know we're heavy. We're a guitar band.
Yeah.
But we've done a bit of rapping over this one as well. And I think they work, yeah. So we was really excited to get it out there, and boy, did they go down well. Not only with the reviews been getting, but also playing live. Bears and Balls is, the reaction we get from that song is quite incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, very happy to get it out there. Well, I was anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it feel, Phil, then, bringing all these songs that you've had for years and stuff like that, and the guys liked it, and the response that you've been getting from them?
Well, unexpected to start because, I'd been in various bands for decades now, and I'd just been writing material that I liked, but the bands that I was in previously, it was a bit too heavy for.
Yeah.
So I showcase them and they'd be like, oh, no, it doesn't quite fit in. And then another one gets shelved. And then another one gets shelved. And then once I was asked to join the self-titled, like Paul said, they were kind of in a position to start having some fresh material. Yeah. And I was like, well, what about these? And the first 4 songs I presented, it was probably 6-8 months. And then we were in the studio recording them as an EP. And I was like, blimey, that was A, very fast, and B, never expected. I would never have thought that joining the band. But now it's like Tom explained, the formula of us writing songs, it works quite well. Yeah. And we all get to kind of have our own input, and we get to bring our own piece to the song. Yeah. It's not like the songs are written with fixed parts that are just delivered to each member. We all get to contribute our own portion of the song. and I really enjoy that.
Even the drummer contributes, yeah.
He does.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, he don't shut up.
So
He's definitely the cause of an increase in tempo.
I'm going
I do always say I like it faster. I do go this faster. And then at rehearsals last week, you was the one who said, "Let's speed him up, speed him up."
Yeah.
But
speed is always good.
It's good, it works.
I'm a wee bit of a death metal fan, to be honest with you, so speed is always good.
Never a bad thing.
So I'm going to ask you to reflect on it a wee bit. So it was released last year. Would there be anything that you would change about it? Or are you still quite happy with it?
Oh, I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with it.
It's not been a song that's kind of evolved to something you want to
that, or the way that you approach the songs. Do you wish you rehearsed them a wee bit more before you played them, recorded them? Happy? Excellent.
no, I think Bears and Balls went really smoothly. I think we was 100% happy with how it turned out and our recording process as well. And our, I think that's why this band works so well with the members we got. We just seem to get along and gel. If one person comes up with a slightly different idea, there's no arguments and there's none of this. Oh, I wrote it that bit. That's all done now. We're not going to change it.
Yeah.
We just go, okay, we give it a go. And if it and I think we're all on a level now where we know if something sounds better than when we sort of wrote it, and we all just agree and go, yeah, that's fine. And that's and it does work, and we all get on most of the time anyway.
You see, I was just keeping quiet there. He's thinking. So you're working with Steve Saunders of Motivated Music Management then. So how's that working out so far?
Oh, that's been brilliant. We have done, along with Steve, we have done so much work together to get gigs that it has been absolutely soul destroying to have it all just swept away from under our feet, because we were like, right, this year we are going to go for it. We're going to do festivals. We're going to do big venues. We're going to really go for it. And just as we were making progress, got a couple of festivals booked, got some bigger venues booked. There was talk of going on tour with a couple of other bands.
Molly Karloff,
unfortunately, Molly Karloff,
Molly Karloff.
Unfortunately, this struck and it's all gone.
Yeah. You must have felt as if you were on a crest of a wave and then bang. I've actually just recently interviewed Molly Karloff as well, and they were absolutely, obviously gutted. But the only saving grace is everybody's in the same boat as yourself. It's not as if you're falling behind from anybody.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
There is that, yeah.
Yeah. So in the last month or so, you've been letting the fans know that the self-titled are still around, and you've been releasing your latest single, Transfused. So how have the responses been for the single so far?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. We got reviewed. Did that one get reviewed straight away? Yes, it did. We got reviewed straight away with that one. So that was a good sign. Got really positive feedback from it.
Yeah.
How
old is the song itself?
4 months, I think, roughly.
That's the newest track, the newest track.
Yeah. We were playing it before lockdown, but then kind of rewrote it from the comfort of our own homes.
Yeah.
And managed to amalgamate it back together. But the new stuff is really good. I mean, once we get to a studio and record these properly in a proper environment, they're going to be really good songs. I've got really good hope for this new album. It's going to be really good without trying to blow my own trumpet or our own trumpets, as it were.
Yeah. That's great, thank you. So, so for those that are new to the band, then, so how would you say it compares to maybe like your debut album or even the last EP? And do you think you've found the sound that you've been looking for with Transfused, or do you think you'll keep on experimenting?
I think we'll always be where we kind of flex and do what we feel is good.
Yeah.
Like Paul said, as the self-titled, we're not necessarily a band writing for a specific sound or genre. If we come up with something we like and we collectively dig it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
If it's good, it's good. It doesn't really matter if it's thrashy, punky, grungy, all of the above count, really.
Yeah.
So as for writing direction, it's kind of wherever the needle points at the moment, which is awesome, because we're not trying to do like an album of pure certain sounds of songs. The album's going to be reasonably eclectic, but what will be the kind of common denominator is it will be the self-titled sound, but not every song is like a formulaic approach to one set type of music.
Yeah. So
the new song, In Your Fire, that's different again. Like, it's evolved again. So I think we can expect some more sort of grungy sounds in this new album, to be honest.
who's bringing that?
That'd be Phil.
I'm not going to say sorry.
Not quite
you,
death metal yet, though.
Charlie was a grunger back in the day.
I was, yeah.
I remember you with your long hair and your flannel shirt.
It's getting long now, isn't it? Flannel shirt. I think I did actually have a flannel shirt. You're right. But no, I mean, I was just pondering as well, and it's like everything that just Phil said. Really, I think by the time this new album is kind of finished, and the kind of different sounds, different sort of song structures, is everything just shifts, but all stays within the boundaries of that self-titled sound. I think once we get this new album done, our live set's going to be a pretty interesting beast, because we've got mixes of songs from previous albums that have had different lineups. As we discussed earlier, Bells and Balls has got its own sound and took it in a different direction. And now the stuff that we're working on now again sort of shifts around itself a little bit as well. So yeah, really excited to kind of sort of see what the next few months bring, see how we get in the studio with our new song next month. And see what it looks like when it all comes together.
Yeah, we were due to make a video as well, so that got cancelled, unfortunately. So as soon as we're allowed within 2 meters of each other, well, or whatever it is now, I think we'll be back on with a video.
Yeah. Have you done like any online gigs or anything like that, or is that something that you have thought about? Or
we have thought about that. Yeah. I think Phil was going to talk to a chap from a local venue about that, so that's in the pipeline, I think.
Good.
It's still on the cards, really, because gigs not still being a thing. A live streamed gig is great for us, and it's great for the venue that hosts it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So things seem to be more settled on the band members front. So how would you say you keep it all together? For example, when negotiating what stays in and what goes out of a song.
Democracy.
Yeah, it is.
just chuck it all in.
we chuck it in and see what comes out the other end, don't we? But like I said
chuck
earlier,
it all in.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no arguments, so which is great. I think we're all getting too old to argue these days, and all we want to do is just make good music, get it out there, and go and gig it and have fun with it, and I think all the all the ego has left, and I'm so glad, because we've had quite a few members in this band, and you do get people who don't want to put the time in, you don't want to put the effort in, don't want to do these sort of things, any interviews. Oh no, I can't do an interview, So, when you're in a band, running a band, you've got to try and run it as a sort of a business, and you've also got to put in the effort. You've got to write the stuff, you've got to get it recorded, put the effort in to do all the interviews, and still go and try and have fun with gigging it and trying to sell your music and the band. And we're all pretty much on a level this time, which is I know it sounds unreal in a band, but it's actually quite true. Yeah, and it's good. And the music we got coming out at the moment, I can't wait to do this album. We needed this LP album, a long play album, and we want to do 10 or 12 tracks, and to see what the people actually think. And I think as a band we've made progression all the way through our recordings, and as a live act, I think we're I still think we're one of the best around, to be honest with you, as a live band. I think we've all got the experience, and we put on a damn good show, really.
Yeah. So you've talked about the musical side of the songs. Then is it yourself, Tom, that does all the lyrics for them, or do you all the lyrics?
I do most of them, but for example, Phil misheard some of my lyrics and thought that I was singing In Your Fire when I wasn't. And I decided that sounded better than what I was actually singing. So I've swapped that around a bit.
What was you singing?
So,
And
I don't know.
Shove it up your whatever, yeah, but
yeah, I thought we kept that in. Yeah, but
that's the next chorus.
yeah, I mean, I'm open to ideas and stuff. I mean, I think Phil likes to read a lot, and I like ancient history. I like that sort of stuff. Yeah. People attacking each other with bronze swords and things like that, and all the legendaries and folklores and stuff that went around that time. So sometimes me and Phil have a conversation maybe about Vlad being paler or something like that. And before you know it, I'm writing a song.
It was Matthew Hopkins, wasn't it, that we...
Matthew Hopkins, yeah, Witchfinder General. We've spoken about him as well, yeah.
That's excellent, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, to hear the song itself, you probably wouldn't really know that it was about that, because it's better to try and relate to people and what they're going through. And I don't see many witches being burnt.
Not anymore. So there will, of course, be no live shows in the near future then. So did you have plans for the summer, and did you maybe have plans for maybe next year? Anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, we certainly did have plans. Yeah, we, like I say, we had a few or a couple of gigs with Molly Karloff, the ones that we could do on that tour.
Yeah.
Which obviously got cancelled, which is a shame. We've still got well, I don't know if it's going ahead still. A festival to play in September.
Yeah.
What's that one called again? Tom knows.
Road to Ruin Festival.
Road
the
to
11th
Ruin.
to 11th to the 13th of September. It's like a Mad Max apocalypse themed festival. We're still kind of put that time aside in case it does go, because if it goes ahead, we are doing it. We're going to go for it for that one. It'll be outdoors.
Can you play the new songs?
Yeah, we're going to play some of the new ones. Definitely. But I think like the face mask thing and the feeling of impending doom and stuff would work well at a festival like that, to be honest.
So we're definitely going to keep going, and we've got a gig down in Hastings that's still in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, the Carlisle, yeah.
The Carlisle. I guess like most bands, we're just going to play it by ear, but we haven't really got really anything booked for next year, to be honest with you. We need to, see where it goes, and then crack on and see if we can get a good number of gigs next year again.
Yeah. So you were saying that you were really going to push it this year. Were you thinking of doing like a UK tour, like maybe even coming up to Scotland or anything like that? What do you think, Phil?
We did have plans to do a UK tour. It didn't quite reach up to Scotland, but it was the furthest north date that we were looking. It was more middle of the country, but yeah, that was a plan of this year, and it's a great way just to kind of saturate the kind of musical market with, through the grapevine, hearsay of, I saw this band. Oh yeah, and then you're on Spotify and everyone can catch it up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'd definitely be up for organising something like that again.
Cool. We've actually only got like 5 minutes or so left, so I've just had a wee warning there. So, so who do you rehearse and who do you record your songs? And when you're looking at the album, who do you think you're going to record it? Who's going to produce it for you, etc.?
Take it away, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got right. So we rehearse either in my barn here.
Yeah.
Or we rehearse in a couple of rehearsal rooms in Ashford. There's one run by a guy called Gordon, who's a really good guy. He's been recording bands for at least 50 years. The guy's a legend, honestly. And then recording-wise, we like to use Magpie Studios Kent, which is run by a guy called Charlie. And he just sits there giggling, to be honest, and lets us just do whatever the hell we want. And then he's got this massive mess to sort out at the end of it. And somehow he fashions it into a song.
Does
But
does he also bring fresh ideas into the song?
he does, yeah. He puts his own little spin on things sometimes. Most of the time, he's thinking the same thing as us. He could be like a fifth member, really, to be honest. But before we go to the studio, we do demos as well. Charlie and Paul both have recording and mixing skills, and we like to get our rough ideas down as a demo before we go to the big boys and get it done, you know, in a studio.
Yeah, excellent. So we've just, like I said, just got 5 minutes, so we'll talk about your instruments then. So Phil, what guitars do you have then, and what do you actually play on the self-titled? What do you bring with you?
I won't bore you with the list of the guitars that I do have.
That many?
Probably take 5 minutes. But the guitars that I use, I only use 2 at the moment. I've got a Gretsch, like a kind of Gibson 335. I can't remember the model name of it. I bought that. That's my most recent purchase.
Yeah.
Bought that the day I booked my wedding. That's just a semi-hollow body, really great for bluesy, real chunky, soulful tone. And the other guitar, which is my main guitar, is a Fret King Eclat, which Fret King are nowadays not a very decent band, but I bought this guitar probably 15 years ago, and that was when Fret King were new, and they put a lot of effort into their guitars, and they made them really well, on par with the likes of your Gibsons and your Fenders.
Yeah.
But then it fell out of reputation, so they're not worth much. But this guitar is, I put it this way, I played a £2,500 PRS Custom 24, my dream guitar, played it, I was really disappointed, and I would never have given £2,500 for that. I was at the guitar show at the XL. I then went to the next stall and picked up this Fret King Eclat, played it, and I was like, oh, it's nicer. And I asked the guy in the stall, I was like, how much is this worth? And he was like, oh, it's about 800 quid. I was like, no way. Bought that, never looked back.
Yeah.
Never looked back. And the others I've got, I've agreed with Charles recently that I'm going to get my 7-string out, and we're going to do a proper sturgy, heavy song.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Yes,
Charles, he's taking up most of your time, I'm afraid. So what's your bass?
So my main bass is an Ibanez 4-string bass. It's nothing special really, but a lot of Phil's songs are really quick. And this bass has got a really thin, narrow neck, which I need to be able to move around really quickly. I use a Trace Elliott amplification, which again was a kind of an 80s, 90s band. I've sought around for months to try and find this equipment secondhand.
Yeah.
I love that. But I've just recently bought a Yamaha 5-string bass. So yeah, again, a bit of an impulse purchase, but didn't realise Phil had a 7-string guitar, so that's another sound that we can now bring to some of our new songs. So
excellent. Go on, Paul. You know you want to. What do you have then? What's your
I use a Premier.
Oh, we're out of time. Sorry. Sorry. I'm only kidding.
No, I was only joking. It sounds to it. Yeah, I use Premier drums, and that's pretty much it, really. Various cymbals. I go for Meinl, Zildjian cymbals, really. Always use Evans heads or Remo heads, and Zildjian drumsticks. And I use Absolute Rock, which are like tapered at both ends. Every time I play, other drummers go, "What the hell are them drumsticks?" Because normally you've got a taper at one end but these I haven't got one here actually, but they're the same circumference all the way around. There's no taper to them, so you can swap ends with them. It's really good.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much my gear. Yeah, it's not very interesting, but it is a 7-piece kit, but I can reduce it down to depending where we're playing. But there you go.
Thank you very much. Tom,
sounds massive.
What style of microphone that you use then?
Oh yeah, I use a Shure SM7B. I've actually got it here. Look.
Oh,
where is it? There it is. There it is. Look at that. You have to get the one from Japan though. The Chinese ones aren't very good. So I did some research and I got the Japanese one. I use it with the EQ setting set to flat. And there you have it.
There you go. Listen, guys, we're about to be chopped off, but as it's the first time I've met you, I hope it won't be the last. Certainly when you get your new album, give me a shout and we'll certainly have an interview again. This won't be the last time we'll chat. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you all. So
Yeah, you too, Ricky. Yeah, appreciate it.
Likewise, Ricky. Yeah, thanks, man.
No worries at all. Take care of yourself, guys, okay? Right.
Thanks,
Thanks
mate.
a lot, Ricky.
Take care,
See
mate.
you later. Bye.
Stay safe, mate. Bye.
Bye.